Thank you for tuning in to TTV. I'm your host, Toya, and today is Saturday, and I'm coming at you with the question of the week, which is what's wrong with being childlike or acting childlike? So, I came across the topic because I was at the park walking my dog. As you know, I'm in Michigan, so it's a lot of snow out there. It's cold, and I see this guy swinging on the swings, and I mean, he is just having a good time on these swings. And this is a grown man, so this is not a little boy, not a teenager. This is a grown man who drove to the park, got out of his car, walked to the swings, got on the swings, and started swinging in like 20-degree weather. Okay. And I wasn't mad at him. I actually felt, kind of happy and for him, like that's a good thing to act childlike. And that's what I mean. So I don't mean acting childish like, you grown and you sitting here having temper tantrums. That's not the childlike I'm speaking on. I'm speaking on childlike, like doing things like you did when you were a kid. Like revisiting that little boy or that little girl that was inside of you when you were growing up and some of the things that they used to do. Like making angels in the snow or catching them on your tongue, snowflakes on your tongue. Although I don't know about that right now. Like, I don't know if you should be doing that part, but when was the last time you went outside and played in the rain? Those kind of things that you did when you were a kid. I remember me and my sister used to make mud pies. We would get water and just put them with the dirt and make mud pies. Why? I don't know. What was the purpose? I don't know. It's just something we did. So it could be even something like playing not video games. Well, video games, yeah, but because depending on how old you are, that probably was what you did. But we used to do stuff outside. We used to go to the park. We used to play outside, do some jump rope and double dutch, hopscotch, things like that outside. So it's like, when was the last time you did something like that? Or even color. I remember when I used to be on the phones, they wouldn't let us read. Between calls, when I first started doing it and I was working in the call center, we could do things in between our calls. I usually kept up with my work, so I knew what was going on with the cases I wrote up. I knew what was going on with, everything that I need to know what was going on with. So I did my job. But I would have this time between the calls where I'm just sitting there. So one of the things I started doing is when they told us we couldn't read at our desk anymore, because of course people abuse that. One of the things I would do is I would sit there and I would color. I started getting coloring books and color. I have a children's book that's not published, not published yet anyway, that I illustrated the whole thing sitting at my desk. I drew out everything, colored it, everything sitting at my desk. That was one of the things I did. So if that's something you used to do when you were a kid, maybe it's time you revisit it. We do a lot of adulting, and adulting is very stressful. Adulting is hard sometimes, especially when them bills start coming in and you actually have to spend all your hard-earned money that you worked for all week to pay these bills. Now, it is a blessing to be able to pay your bills every single month when they come in, but at the same token, it's stressful. It's part of adulting, but it's stressful. Going shopping for groceries and household stuff can be stressful, so sometimes we need to revisit that inner child that we have and do something that they used to like to do. So revisit that, go back out and do some of the things you did when you were a kid, regardless of what it is, as long as it was legal, as long as it was legal. So you don't want to do anything illegal, but as long as it's something legal, go ahead and do it. One of the things I started doing lately is I'm out there. There's nobody out there when I go take my dog for the walk, at least most of the time, depending on how cold it is. And so I just started just yelling stuff. So I go to the dogs and I go, hoo-dee-hoo! And they look around like, what happened? What's going on? And I just get the biggest kick out of it, and it's that release, because when you were a kid, you didn't care how loud you were. You used to scream and holler, and don't let it be an echo. It's the echo, so you enjoyed it and you let go and you were a child. And so, like I said, sometimes you have to revisit that, especially in our adult lives, and we got all these stresses going on. Take you a moment. If you have the opportunity to stop at the park and go swing on the swing, stop at the park and go swing on the swing. Go make you a snow angel. Do what you need to do to bring that inner child out and really enjoy doing something different that you haven't done in a long time that used to bring you joy. I remember when we were in preschool, my sister and I, they had these little squares with little hooks, feet, or fingers, or whatever you want to call it, sticking out. And we would take these stretchy little pieces that look like cut up pieces of t-shirt or something, and we would stretch them over there and weave it and made pie holders. Okay, that's something I haven't done since I was a kid. Like I don't even know if they still sell that kind of stuff. I'm sure they do. But that was something I used to do when I was a kid that I don't do anymore. So it's, again, go revisit some of those things you did that you really enjoyed and got a kick out of when you were a kid. Go revisit it, because adulting is difficult, it's stressful, and sometimes you don't feel like being an adult. And that's the perfect time to be a child. Go put a boat. Get you some toys for your tub. Like, whatever it is. You don't have to tell the world about it if you feel it's embarrassing. You don't got to advertise it. But go get you some tub boats and play with your rubber duck in the tub. Whatever it is, just do it to relax and get yourself out of that box that we confine ourselves in so often. Just break out of it and do something that you used to do, that you found fun, and that you could just sit back and laugh at. Like, y'all ain't gonna believe this, but last night I was playing with my rubber duck in the tub. We, was going at them. They was fighting, and then they was playing, and then we were going on a mission. Whatever it was that you did, get your G.I. Joe set back out. Do Mrs. What was it in Toy Story? With the tea set. I am Mrs. Nesbit. Okay, pull your tea set out and play with Mrs. Nesbit. So just whatever it was that you did when you was a child, revisit it and let that come out in you. Let that release, that stress release, and that pent up. Let that little child inside of you come out and have some fun every once in a while. So that's my Saturday message for you for the question for the week. I love you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow.